Hello everyone. How are you guys doing? Great. I would like to welcome you all to a heartfelt edition of Light the Torch. Today, we're honoring the men who've shaped our lives in the most meaningful ways. Letters to him, honoring fathers, grandfathers, and father figures is a moving apology filled with love, gratitude, and timeless memory. We're joined by several of the inspiring authors who contributed to this legacy, each sharing a deeply personal letter to the father figures who left a lasting imprint on their hearts. So get ready for an emotional and uplifting conversation that reminds us just how powerful a father's love can be. Let's dive into the heart of this project. Can I go around the studio here and have you introduce yourself and tell us what made you decide to contribute to this anthology? And was it an immediate yes, or you need to take a step back and make some reflection? Do I really want to share my heart out? Who would like to share first?
I'm happy
Yes,
to go
go ahead.
first. Oh, is it okay? Can I go first?
Yes,
Yeah.
sure.
Hi, everyone. I'm Alicia Fuentes, and I'm from Trinidad and Tobago, Caribbean. I am a feminine leadership coach. And when I saw the advertisement for this anthology, I was so excited. Like, I felt like they were reading my mind. Um, the bond between my dad and I is actually really very strong. It's always been quite strong. But as time has gone on, and he's in his 70s now, in fact, Friday is his birthday, he'll be 76. And I just felt the timing of this was so appropriate because even though we have a close connection and we speak about everything, I've never really put it on paper in this way, and I enjoyed the journey so much. So it was indeed an absolute immediate yes when I saw it, and it's been a great experience. I'm just excited for him, to have that copy to open that, and because he does not know, has no idea
Oh,
just thing that I've done. So
that's wonderful.
thank you for the opportunity.
Well, you're welcome. That's wonderful. I'm sure it will be a great surprise. Thank you, Alicia. Want to go next?
Marilena, go.
Yes, thank you so much. Hi, everyone. I'm connecting from Rome. I'm Marilena Heinrich. And well, was it an immediate yes? Absolutely, yes. And it was a very recent yes, because Sylvia Becker Hill, who is also here on the call, she wrote to me on 2nd of May. So that's like yesterday. And she proposed this project and she said, I think this would be something for you and I'd love you to participate. And for me, it was an immediate yes, because it really spoke to me. And also the fact that Sylvia is part of it made it even more special. And my father passed away 8 months ago. So my letter to him, was actually born on 11th May, which was the exact date on which it was 8 months. And I have to say that it was a very interesting journey, because I just threw it down and without overthinking it too much. But it was like looking in the mirror. And I realized only by writing this letter to him how much my life is a mirror of what he has done in his life and my character of his character. So that's what you will find in my letter. Thank you for this opportunity.
That's nice. I love that. Sylvia, do you want to go next?
Yeah, it's so wonderful, Marilena, that you are here. And my intuition to invite you was triggered by, I think, a post you made on social media where you talked about, I think even with photos of you and your dad. And you were the only one from all the wonderful women and friends I have who came to my mind who needs to be in this book. So I'm so grateful you followed that journey, that invitation. So for me, I'm very visual. So when the invitation via email came with the little square image showing the cover, And the gold, I mean, I felt like as if I had a drug taken, because the hymn was 3D, jumping out of the screen, embracing me. And I felt this kind of visceral shock without even fully being clear, okay, this is an anthology, just another one. I just knew whatever that thing is behind that image, I have to be part of it, because this is how my subconscious mind, my soul reacts to visuals. And I love, love, love this, on one hand, very simple yet and traditional, nearly, for me, it feels a bit medieval. Yeah, it's like hammered. It's a 3D hammered golden kind of armor of what you see knights have when they have their shields. And for me, the archetype of the father, grandfather, father figure, that is the protective, supporting the feminine energy and women in the world kind of archetype. So for me, this cover just called me to be part of the project, whatever it is. And then I realized, okay, it's an anthology. And for me, writing that chapter was a beautiful, surprising opportunity to grieve my father, because my father died on 4th of September in 2019. And my mother, I'm a single child, my mother struggled with advanced dementia, which made her grieving and her pain very challenging, because literally every few minutes she forgot that her husband died. And they were together nearly 60 years. So I was the one to literally again and again had to announce to her, hey, your husband has died. It was so excruciating. So the first weeks and months for me were not about me grieving my dad. It was all about helping my mother to get her head and heart around it, and changing her living situation, etc. So I wasn't aware that I never took time to fully grieve for myself. Mm-hmm. And so writing this chapter, normally I write these chapters for anthologies in 2 afternoons. This one took me 3 weeks, because I started crying and sobbing, and so many memories came up writing this chapter, that it surprisingly took me 3 weeks to move through all the things which came up through the writing. So for me, it's my 7th anthology with She Rises Studios, and it's by far the most intimate and personally most important one. I'm very grateful to Hannah Olivas and her daughter, co-founder Adriana, and the whole team to have the courage to publish anthologies about these kind of deep and potent and important topics, not just the typical business anthologies where experts give advice, but where we women can share authentic, deep stories and heartbreak and wisdom in a way not many publishers have the courage to go there topic-wise. So thank you.
You're very much, and we believe that, you know, sometimes there's really power in emotion, and it's emotion is, it's a global thing. This is a global thing that we want to share to the world. With, you know, the feelings that we have for our fathers or for father figures that we have, it's across the globe. It's for everyone, and so we're very much excited that you ladies have actually stepped into, you know, this courage, brave enough to share your emotions, because I know that sometimes it's a little bit difficult. It's easy to write points where step by step on how to build a business, right, Sylvia? but when it's your emotion, it's your feelings, it's a little sensitive, it's a little difficult. But so we thank you so much for joining and being part of this particular project. Awesome. Well, Shraddha, do you want to share anything?
Sure. So I'm Shraddha Chanwadkar. I'm here in Atlanta, Georgia. I live here with my husband and 2 teens and 3 cats. And this, as soon as I saw Letters to Him, the book cover, just like Sylvia mentioned, was so attractive. It just caught my attention, and I jumped right in because my father turned 73 this year, and I was always thinking, like, when he's 75, what will I gift him? And the gift has come early, so I wanted to honor him this year. And also, not only him, but also my grandfathers who are not with me anymore. Both my maternal grandfather and my paternal grandfather. And all these three father figures in my life, they have been instrumental in so many lessons that I have learned. And all three have had their unique ways in offering love to me. They have been very different in their approaches in loving me, but I learned so many lessons from them in different ways, and that's what I mentioned in my chapter to honor them. Thank you. This is a wonderful opportunity. Thank you so much.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much. Wonderful. Terry, you want to share next?
Hi, I'm Terry. I'm from New Jersey. I'm so blessed to be here. I'm sorry, the last two speakers are just like they resonated with me because it is. Excuse me. Yes, I know. Need to relax. It is a deep topic that needed to be put out there, and I'm very, very, very attached to what I actually got to put down on paper. And I'm just really glad that you guys opened it up so that we could share those stories so that people around us could actually get to know more about what influenced us and what we hope to pass on to the next generation. And I just wanted to say thank you. This is just, it's been therapeutic for me because I'm always, I'm an A type, so I'm always go, 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 go. And when things happen, you get through it. You don't really stop long enough to actually grieve, just like Sylvia was saying. And just the emotion alone is going to inspire so many people to share their stories and share their letters to their loved ones. And that's my biggest takeaway from this project. This is my first of what I think is going to be a lot of contributions, because I've been told for many, many years about how much of my story and my influences and my impact needs to be put out there for others to see. If I can do it, they can do it. So thank you very much.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much, Terry. And I'm happy that this is, you've chosen this to be your first project, because it helped you process your emotions. So later on, we can then go to the business side, which will be very, very, I'm sure it'll be a lot easier for you. But it's nice to know that, doing this actually helped you process the emotion that you tried not to, and sometimes it's easier to just shove everything under the rug, right? But it's nice that this particular project has actually helped you go through that. Wonderful. Priya, I think we still have Priya joining us today as well.
Yes, hi everyone. I am Priya Tandon, and I'm dialing in from California. Letters to him, first, the social media post, I think it was Adriana posted it. It caught my eye, just the title, Letters to Him. And when I read, it was about just paying an ode to your, to your father, grandfather, or a father figure. I thought about it, and then I decided, I want to write. writing is very, cathartic for me. And I lost my dad when I was just nearing 15 years of age. And he was my whole world. He gave me the whole world, and he was my whole world. I was very, very attached to him, and it was just, even attached to the point that even, the neighbors would make, kid around with us that, one day you're going to get married. Are you going to take your dad with you? Those kind of like, lighthearted, jokes were there. So everyone knew that I was really, really attached to him. And then suddenly he just died. It was not even like an illness, that you could expect. And losing a parent at any age is really, really hard. But losing, as a child, or as a teenager, just impacts you very differently, in the sense that it just, confuses you, and it just sets the path of your life. It can set your path on a very different trajectory, and that's exactly what happened with me. And letters to him especially caught my eye, because when I was 10 years old, my dad gifted me a book. I'm very fond of books, and that's why I write as well. My dad gifted me a book called Letters from a Father to a Daughter, or it was just letters to my daughter. It was written by, I guess in the 70s or 60s, from Pandit Nehru, who was the Prime Minister of India for his daughter, Indira Gandhi. And I remember him gifting this book to me, and I read that book, and it was an awesome book about the world, the history, and making thoughtful connections and whatnot. So that book covered everything, and I was at a tender age of 10. And I kept that book, and I still have it with me, because my dad wrote something really nice on that book for me. And he put his name, signed it, and, happy birthday, Priya. So I have that cherished memory. So when I saw letters to him, I just somehow connected, and it took me back to that memory. And I said, okay, I have to write it, because number one, it's been almost 40 years since he died. And I never got to properly grieve. I had to be with my mom, because it was a sudden death. She just got like really, really depressed. And I myself, as a teenager, was navigating through all the chaos that just suddenly, happened. So I don't think I even understood death at that time. And I didn't even realize that, how my body was grieving, how mentally I was grieving, and how it impacted the course of my life until in the 40s. And then I realized that, this is not where I needed to be, and how I started my healing from different circumstances that happened in my life. So in nutshell, this book, this chapter gave me a chance to just pour in some memories, some thoughts, some anecdotes, and, just some philosophy of life, how he influenced me. And even after his death, how he has been there for me, to the point that I had the courage to change the course of my life and start my healing. So, of course, it's just a chapter, not the whole thing. But this was me writing after, 40 years, acknowledging what had happened, and how it had impacted me, and how much I missed him, to the point that I'm not sad anymore. yes, I wish that he didn't die sooner. I had more time with him, but I am also thankful for the time I had with him. So that's my chapter in nutshell.
That's wonderful. I love that. Um, Very emotional indeed, but yet you just have to go through it
Right.
for you to get and understand the bigger picture. Sometimes some people it the grieving process is shorter. Some people it takes longer for them, but nevertheless, we still have to go through it and process it. And I'm glad that this particular project had to actually help you get through that.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. At least it's the beginning for me.
That's true. Thank you,
Thank you.
Priya. Thank you. And we have Dorothy just joining in us right now. Maybe you can share a little. We were just going around the studio here, introducing yourself and sharing our, the meaning why you wanted to be part of this particular project. And was it easy for you to say yes immediately, or just have to hold back a little?
Yeah, first of all, sorry because I was in the Parisian traffic, and then second, yeah, it has a story because about 8 years ago I lost my husband, and I was not able to write a letter to him. My kids did. I have 4 children, and they did, and I never did it. And I did some somatic breath work. And during that somatic breath work, which was about 45 minutes, I found out that I still have a little bit of way to go. And the invitation for letters to him came right after that, when I came out of the session. So I thought, oh, I think that's a message. And I called up my children and asked them if they have a problem if I write a letter to their father. And yeah, it was very beautiful, but in the same time not easy because a lot of things came up. And I found out even more how much we were similar and still very different. Still very different. So, but I'm very, very happy to have had that opportunity. And I've read the chapters, the others, and every chapter touched me really deeply. And so I think it's a very beautiful possibility. Yeah, to say thank you. Yeah.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, I think, timing is perfect.
Yes.
Thank you.
Always. Always. Yes.
Awesome. Helene, thank you so much for joining us. Would you like to introduce yourself and let us know why you decided to join this anthology? Yes.
Hi everyone. Sorry I'm a bit late.
Fine.
Well, I mean, when the email came through and I just saw the cover of that book and I just thought I have to do it for my father. He passed. It's been 3 years now, but Mum passed not long after, so it's been really full on. And it's been it was just something that, I just feel like, yeah, something I have to do to mark him in some way. And actually to thank him for giving me life, thanking, for he came from Hong Kong on a boat in his 20s and it took about 1 or 2 months. He left his family, do you know what I mean, to sort of create a better life. At the time, Hong Kong wasn't what it is now. And so, then he met Mum, he had kids, but he did that. He did that. And yeah. I could have been in Tiananmen Square, I was a student then, and I remember thinking, gosh, because of my dad, I'm not there. I'm here in the UK, which is where I am, so it was big, he was a very humble, quiet man, and he, it's my chance to give him a voice.
Yeah. That's wonderful. Yes, that's nice. Thank you so much. So on that particular note, if you could describe your letter to whoever you're writing this letter to in 3 words, what would that be? Anyone can go. if you can think of any 3 words that best describes. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
So the 3 letters that describe to honor my father and grandfathers is going to be resilience, frugality, and unconditional love.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah,
Very
for me, it's honoring, foundational, and their legacy.
great. Yeah, awesome. Anybody else?
Well, if I could use 4 words instead of 3, it would be I am your copy.
Oh, that's true. That's true. That's true. Great, great. Well, I was, remembering my dad also passed away several years ago. And looking back, my dad used to throw in side comments or unsolicited advice, every now and then. And I would think, you don't really get me, that's just a silly comment. But now looking back, I would sometimes catch myself, it did make sense. That made sense. Whatever he was saying was totally true. So let me ask all of you, we can go around the room. What was one powerful lesson or piece of wisdom that your father figure had passed down to you that stuck the most, even if it didn't make sense at that time?
I think,
Any-
yeah, I was going to say, I think my grandfather's biggest advice for me was to be me. And at the time, it was like, what does that mean? And it took a few dozen years to figure out that what they were seeing was something that would take time to figure out, but it was so important to be able to do that. So that was the biggest aha for me.
Wonderful, wonderful. Anybody else?
I think for me, it would be not to judge others. And I remember that in my teenage years, he would have said that to me. And even now as an adult, and we still have those conversations. And sometimes I do step into that space of being judgmental. And, he'll remind me, or I'll just simply remember, Dad said, not to be judgmental. And I think to the other question around the 3 words, I was struggling, not wanting to repeat what others said. But I think for me, it would be perseverance, courage, and love. So yeah, thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. Yes, go, Sylvia.
I needed also time for the 3 words. It's something my father taught me, not verbally or intentionally, but through his whole life and being, which is discovering deep compassion. I think, and that I became aware of that through writing my chapter. I think especially in my 20s, I was very arrogant because I was living in my head and just focused on my intellectual brilliance and my 2 university degrees. And I was very quick to judge everything and everyone in the world. And integrating consciously my relationship, my love with my father through the writing process made me aware that that arrogant 20-year-old Sylvia merged in the 30s through my inner processes in understanding my parents and why they were the way they were, both of them. I turned myself in my 30s from this arrogant, quick, judgmental, egocentric woman to a deeply understanding and compassionate woman for humanity, for the messiness of us all. I mean, being human is a really messy thing, and my sweet dad, his life and his struggles, I think, were my school for that.
That's nice. That's wonderful. Awesome. Thank you, Celia. And yes, go ahead.
For me, I have written about my father and paternal and maternal grandfather, and all three of them have been great examples in my life through the way they experienced life and the way they responded to life challenges. There was a lot to learn from all three of them. Resilience wins in each one of them. My dad was an alcoholic during my early childhood years, but he he faced that challenge head on. He was vulnerable, he came help, and he genuinely wanted to quit. And within 1 year of deciding that, he was out of alcohol and is still today. So that was a major life lesson for me during my early years. Similarly, with my paternal grandfather, he lived a life of frugality. Till the end, he had only 2 shirts and 2 pants that he used to sew if and mend it if he wanted to. And in spite of not having a lot of richness, at the same time, he saved a lot of, and he retired early at the age of 40 because he had to take care of his children, because my grandmother passed on very early when my father was in his engineering college. So knowing about that history and also seeing his life in front of me, where he lived frugally and always up to me. And with my maternal grandfather, his unconditional love towards all his grandchildren. I was his first grandchild. So I used to travel with him to another state in India. He used to come and pick me up. And then whenever I used to fall sick, the way he took care of me and the way he instilled faith in me, at the same time telling me ghost stories at night, says a lot about him. And he lived a very purposeful life. He made attars, that is the natural perfumes. He and not that big house or anything. It was a small apartment, rental apartment. And in the balcony or the small terrace of that apartment, he grew like 30-40 rose plants, and he deeply cared for them. And so there are a lot of things. I just remember all these, especially after my grandfather's passed away. I feel that I couldn't really express that gratitude towards them, and through letters to him, I'm able to do that. And I'm very grateful that I'm able to do that to my father while he's living today at the age of 73. So I'm so grateful to Hannah and to She Rises for this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Dorothy, you wanted to share something?
Yeah, my 3 ways are the name of my chapter. My 3 words, it's the gentle way, because my husband was a judoka, so he was practicing judo from about 9 years, 10 years on, because he was always getting into fights, and he really hurt another boy very severely. He ended up under the oxygen tent, and instead of being thrown from school, his principal suggested that he's doing judo. And he started when he was 9 years old, and he still was practicing it at his moment of death at a very high level. And so he had the black belt. I have my 2 sons who have the black belt as well. And I woke up every morning with the core values of judo on our wall in our bedroom. And actually writing that chapter was was processing the sorrow and everything. It was also a lot of joy, because I realized how much my husband was judo. He actually was judo, and all the core values. The core values of judo are courage, respect, honor, honesty, and friendship. And of course, friendship is also love, right? And the idea of judo is not about who you fight, but whom you lift up. So the core value is to make a better human and to make a better society. That was the idea of the founder of judo. So actually, it's what Sylvia said. It's about being human, right? And yeah, I hope that this chapter can contribute, that maybe one grandchild or one child will maybe become a judoka and honor those values, will really make a better society, right? So that was so it went above the two of us. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, before we wrap things up here, if you could speak directly to the people that you wrote these letters to the men that you wrote these letters to, what would be one sentence that you know, like a summary of your letter? What would be that one sentence that you would tell this person?
I can go first, if that's okay. So I think the one sentence that I would say, which is tied to the previous question as well as the biggest lesson, is I want to tell my dad that, I finally got it. He used to tell me, and that is my lesson as well, the learning as well from him. From a very young age, he would instill this, that, you're enough. You can do this. And at that time, I used to whine. I know I need this, I need that. No, I can't do this. I don't have the, maybe the confidence to do it. But I never felt that he was not behind me, whether I was making a mistake or whether it was, something that I was accomplishing. He always supported me unconditionally. And him just telling me that, you're enough, you can do this, is what saw me through in the end, when I did realize my own power, that yes, actually I am enough, which I never got it at that time. So to sum it up, that's my sentence, that I finally got it.
That's wonderful. I love that. And sometimes it is a puzzle. When you're younger, they throw things at you and it's like, I don't get it. I don't understand. But
yeah.
I'm happy that Priya finally got it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Awesome. Anybody else? Yes, go ahead, Sylvia.
I wish I would have told my father the following long sentence. I wished I would have told him thousands of times, your father was wrong about you. You are lovable and you are loved.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Sylvia. You're going to make me cry out. Let's go to, I believe, Marlena, you have something to share?
Yes, thank you. I would have loved to tell him, thank you for having been such a truthful example, even with your weaknesses. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Alicia? Yes, you can go, Alicia.
I believe I'm really blessed after I'm listening to all these wonderful ladies and recognizing that for most, their dads have moved on, have passed on. I'm really blessed to have my dad there still, and I treasure every day. So for me, my sentence to him at present would be, Dad, thank you for believing in me, for always cheering me on, and for being the man of integrity that you are. And I love you.
I hope he hears that. Shraddha?
So the one sentence I would tell my father and grandfathers is, I'm deeply grateful all of you for being in my life and helping me become who I am today. I wouldn't ask anyone else to be my father or grandfathers. You are the ones that were meant to be in my life, and I'm so grateful, and I love you. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Terry.
So my message is very simply, well, with a gratitude and grace, which is one of my nicknames. You'll see in my article. But with unconditional love and patience, the encouragement that you gave us, the lessons learned, especially the 1% that I've passed on to my sons, made all the difference. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Terry. That's wonderful. Dorothy, would you like to share?
Yeah, well, I could tell actually everything I wanted to my husband. And but there was one point, my husband did study medicine and veterinary medicine, and he didn't finish it. And he became a CEO. He was running companies, and one time he lost his job, and he said that he regrets a lot that he couldn't serve humanity. And I told him, but you are serving because you are running companies, you giving jobs, you push the companies up so people can keep their job and all this. And I think in writing that chapter, I could contribute a little bit to what maybe was his dream, because when the message of judo goes out to the world, which is the gentle way, which is all about those how those values of being human and of making better humans and making a better society. If it's just one grandchild or one child, then it serves humanity, and he still has fulfilled his I would say his dream, or it was probably his regret, and I hope it was his only regret. So
Thank you for sharing that, Dorothy. Helene, do you want to share your one sentence that you would tell the person that you wrote this letter?
Gosh, I was still thinking about the 3 words from before of being the most humble, hardworking, and honest man, and being just such a gentle representation, because I think, in the last few years, I'm a single parent, right? And there are so many single mums. I know so many single mums, right? And so there's this other side of the male that we hear a lot, and so it just really warms me and inspires me to and for all the men out there that actually know that we haven't turned into a bunch of man haters, right? Because a lot of my, and I have had some negative experiences, but wow, we owe our fathers so much. And my father was incredible. He was quiet and he was unassuming and he was the most humble person, but he was an incredible man. And so thank you, Dad, just for being you. That's all I need to say.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. That's nice. Well, thank you all for sharing. Really has been a very emotional discussion, a topic to talk about. But thank you so much for sharing your heartfelt reflections today. Letters to Him is more than just a book. It's a tribute, a legacy, a reminder of the quiet strength and love the father figures bring into our lives. And just as Helene said, we're not all man haters. There's that big part of us that there's a man that helped us mold into whoever we are today. So for everyone that's listening out there, if you haven't yet, please grab a copy of Letters to Him. It's available now on Amazon. It's the perfect keepsake for Father's Day or any day you want to honor the men who helped shape you into your life. So Take care, everyone, and cherish every moment. Yes. Thank you so much. Until next time. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you to everybody.
Bye.